Yo, today it's gonna be a how-to type of day. I'm gonna show my boy how we change a valve cover gasket, spark plugs, and do an oil change on his Toyota Rav4. I know that a lot of aunts and uncles and moms have these whips. No hate, they're phenomenal, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna show y'all how to do it. Save a couple $100 because nowadays they be waxing. So I'm gonna show y'all how it's done, and y'all gonna appreciate it. So to change the valve cover, it's 10 mils to remove the plastic cover that's on top of the valve cover. You're obviously gonna have to remove your coil packs, so it's 10 mils all across. You remove the plugs, you take those out. Then you're gonna see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mil bolts that you have to remove, and the valve cover is gonna come off. Make your life easier, you could remove these hoses when you take this off. I'm just gonna leave them there. If they become a pain, I'll remove them. But yeah, we're just gonna get into it, and we're probably just gonna fast forward this because it's just removing bolts. So yeah. Shit might be a little difficult because it's fucking hot. Yeah, shit. That shit's too hot. Let that bitch cool down a little. So now, once you have the valve cover up and you have someone helping you hold it, removing the valve cover is extremely easy. Obviously, you just pull it off. Pull it off all around. And this one definitely needed to be changed because I can feel it. It's like it's crusty. It is so crusty. Like, look, the fact that it didn't even come off with the middle parts. Look. And so when these things go bad, obviously your valve cover is gonna start leaking, and when these go bad, oil is gonna start getting into your spark plugs. And once that starts happening, you're gonna have to clean it. If not, you're gonna end up getting misfires and shit. So this is trash. I'm gonna put the new one in, put the valve cover back on, and everything's just gonna be reverse order. But we're obviously gonna do spark plugs as well. So once we put the valve cover back, we're gonna screw it down, show you the pattern of how it should be tightened, and just go from there. Also, before you put the valve cover, make sure you clean all of this, all that gunk. And since they use like old RTV or there's some type of sealant maker around the corners, you can put it, you don't have to, it's preference. So we're gonna do that right now. So now, once you clean up the edges and stuff like that, like I said, you can use RTV, gasket maker on the corners. Some people do, some don't. You don't really have to. It's up to preference. So once you lay down the gasket inside of the valve cover, all you have to do obviously is put it back on. A lot of people, since we are going to change the spark plugs, will change the spark plugs like this. I myself don't want to, simply because of the fact that I don't like leaving that engine uncovered for too long. I'm very paranoid, especially since I don't have like a garage or anything. I'm doing this thing outside, anything could fall in, and we know how that goes. Engines are very delicate, something falls in, Next thing you know, you need a new fucking piston. So we're gonna put this back on, screw it back on. Like I said, I'm gonna show you guys technically how you have to bolt them on. Usually it's a pattern and all of that stuff at a specific torque, and we're gonna go from there. So again, like I said, legit just laying the valve cover back down. So thankfully it has these two studs. It has the two studs that will leave it in place. Usually just start putting the bolts back on, and once we have the bolts back on, you guys don't really need to see that. I'll show you the pattern in which you have to tighten them. That way you have like the best seal. So the way that this is set up right now, it's the opposite way. So the first one that you want to tighten is this one, the middle ones. So this is 1, this is 2, that's 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's the tightening sequence that you want for this. Obviously I'm gonna tighten them right now to spec, and it's just something that it just helps with better seal. Honestly, there's even pressure all around compared to like you do the corners first and then you do the middle, so then it's like it's tightened up in the corners and then in the middle it's a little lifted. So if you follow that sequence, you should be straight. And then I'll put up also the torque spec on the screen, that way it'll be easier for you guys. So now I'm not gonna record this part. I'm gonna just tighten them, finish tightening them, and then the next clip you're gonna see is us starting to remove the spark plugs, and we'll go from there. So I already took down everything. Now we're gonna remove the spark plugs. You need a 5/8 spark plug remover. This one we're gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning because, again, since the valve cover was leaking, there's some oil in here. Just stick down a rag in there. Won't leave any lint or some paper. As you can see, there's oil on this bitch. I shouldn't really swear. There's oil on it, and not only that, there's auto lights in this bitch. Damn, I swear it again. Auto lights are for American cars, guys, not Japanese. What you want in these cars is some Denzos or NGKs. I think these first cylinders, we're gonna put a rag in there, clean up the oil real quick. So once we do that, put in the spark plugs is the exact same thing. You do the opposite thing. You put them in, you tighten them. Make sure they're obviously gapped at the spec that they're supposed to be. A little trick too, bro. If you spin them backwards, they do like a little click, and once they're because you don't want to cross thread these. Just do like a little click and then you can start putting them in. Now that those are on, we're gonna give this a good cleaning. That way we know that everything got seated well, and if it's not seated well, then we're gonna see, because since it's clean, we're gonna see that there's no leaks and stuff. So if you have some brake cleaner, wash it up with some brake cleaner and you'll be fine. So we're gonna do that right now, and then the next thing is gonna be an oil change. So we're gonna get to that right after this.